How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. I am here with my fiance somewhere in the void. Oh, you're right there.
I did it.
This is Black Widow. This is also a Black Lives Matter, all costume bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. Black Widow, the movie, first movie of Phase 4. We've had a lot of discussion about Phase 4 in our TV show stuff, but the big thing we've been saying is, like, we need to see a Phase 4 movie, and we need to see a Phase 4 movie that is a character that is still around.
Oh, yeah.
So this one doesn't quite hit the second mark.
Not quite.
But, yeah, or like a new character, like, you know, Shang-Chi is probably going to be the big one that we're, like, tells us more about how Phase 4 is going to be going forward, versus this might not be super indicative of Phase 4 going forward because it's going to be a prequel.
Yeah.
So, about 10 minutes before we started this, we got spoiled on a little bit of things.
Just a little bit.
Can't believe it. 10 minutes before we started, going so fine for the whole thing. Up to then, we had literally zero idea about anything in the movie.
Yeah.
Aside from she wears like a white suit sort of thing. It's like the only thing we knew. Now we know it takes place after Civil War.
Right.
Something like that. Takes place after Civil War when she was on the run and everything like that. Don't know if that's while she was on the run with Cap and everything in them, or if that's going to be a separate time, like when she was on the run before she got together with Cap and them. But I'm leaning towards the second, even though I really hope we could get, I mean, like, it would be weird to get more young Cap and all that in this, but at the same time, that is the number one thing we constantly talk about with Steve's character. Of, like, the time where Steve did the most good in the world, we never got to see.
Yeah.
And so, that sucks, and we want to see that. But I don't think we're going to get that in this movie.
Probably not.
But still, this would be the perfect opportunity to do it, and if they don't do it here, we're never going to get it. I think we have to just go, we're never going to get it.
Yeah.
But it sucks to have... Steve Rogers is such a good character in the MCU, but he would be so much better if we got to see that period that we never get to see, where he was the most Captain America he's ever been. And, like... It's so hard to be like, well, yeah, but we gotta remember he did have that off-screen time.
So weird.
But yeah, also, never would have expected this movie was taking place post-Civil War.
That wasn't my initial prediction, but in hindsight, I don't know where else it could really take place, because we see most of, Black Widow's existence.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought it was going to take place before anything in the MCU. I mean, not before anything in the MCU,
but like, all flashback, all prequel.
All before Iron Man.
Yeah. Even knowing that, at least some of it takes place, around there, I feel like a big chunk of this has to be a prequel, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gotta.
Oh, yeah. We're certainly going to have to get a lot of flashbacks. So, I mean, it's still a prequel either way.
True.
Taking place during Civil War makes it a prequel. So, it should all be prequel. If there's any... I mean, like, even... The only thing I can imagine that wouldn't be prequel, which still would be around Endgame time. Because, again... If this movie does not show that there actually was a funeral for fucking...
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
I'm going to lose my mind. It's been the only thing I want to see in the movie.
Right.
I don't care about anything else. The only thing I want to see is that she did have a fucking funeral. And it's still insane that they don't show it in Endgame.
Right.
When, like, it's just so awful. Everybody was there for Iron Man's moment. Everybody wasn't there for Natasha's moment. If you had to have a funeral for only one of them, it should have been Natasha.
Yeah.
Everybody got to be there in his final moments.
It's one of those things where, like, on a logical sense, like, in a storytelling sense, like, well, she's the spy character. I get it. The spy character never has a funeral. But, like, what she was doing was not a spy thing.
No, she hasn't been a spy for a long time.
Yeah, she's been the leader of the Avengers for the last, 5 years.
Yeah. So
it'd be like if they just didn't do a funeral for Cap.
Seriously, like it's so weird. That is a good point. She was the leader of the Avengers for 5 years and didn't get a fucking funeral.
Insane.
Oh my god. Like, yeah, you can't even say like, oh well, Tony was more of a public figure. Not at that point.
No.
Natasha was way more of a public figure by that point. Yeah, so that's the only thing I definitely want to see. If we don't get it, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. If we don't get it, I'm gonna be mad.
No, I agree with you. Makes sense.
Anything else you want to see?
I imagine a lot of people want to see her face off against the Winter Soldier, because that's one of the few things we know she did in the past.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I feel like we're probably going to see the big Budapest incidents. I don't want to see the Winter Soldier thing. I think that's fine. It's just a thing that happened that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Because it is literally just she's escorting someone and then she gets shot.
Yeah, it's not that interesting.
Yeah, it would feel too prequel-y to me if they did that. It'd be too like, we gotta show every single thing she has ever done.
I'd be interested for more Fury, seeing how she got involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. in the first place and everything like that.
Yeah, like the big thing has been there's a lot of red in her ledger. And so I want to see her do some really bad things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you get that feeling of, like, why was she so upset about this? She did, like, one bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, working for S.H.I.E.L.D. is a pretty bad thing.
Sure, but even then, when she was saying that,
yeah,
it was, it was when she was like, no, everything I did with the Russians, awful, terrible, I hate it. What I'm doing with S.H.I.E.L.D. is what is redeeming that.
Fully agree. Like, yeah, I think working with S.H.I.E.L.D. is a big bad thing, but she didn't. Not until later.
Yeah, later she did the full, like, oh yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra, fuck, I still have all this red in my ledger, what do I do?
Yeah.
Which I could see playing into it in a, like, if we do, like, here's the origin story of the Black Widow, and here's all the bad stuff she did then, I think it would be really cool if we then, like, cut forward to post-Civil War, and then she has to deal with the, like, well, everything I did for S.H.I.E.L.D. bad, everything I did with the Avengers, maybe also bad?
Yeah.
Like...
Curious how they're going to start the movie, considering it takes place, like, right there. Like, Loki had a bit of a heavy recap for what was going on. Like, are we going to see that moment where she leaves, and then we get our Marvel intro?
Yeah, my guess is that it's going to be... She leaves, get the intro, we see her meet someone who is part of her past, maybe, and then we do the, like, flashback.
Okay, yeah. I think we're gonna get the recap, go into the logo, go straight into flashback.
Okay.
That
also makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we got anything else to say.
Yeah.
The white suit, no idea what that is, what importance it has, or anything.
I'm guessing it's going to be a big, in order to be the Black Widow, you have to, like, be this accomplished. So until that point, you just wear the white suit.
You gotta earn the black.
Yeah, you can't blend in or anything, because it's pure white.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And any idea what they're going to do for, like, a villain?
Probably a Russian villain that's not too big, or, nothing big super villainy.
Yeah.
Just kind of like bad Russians.
Because, yeah, like, I can't really think of a lot of people I'd consider to be, like, the Black Widow villain, because she's so, like, spy-based.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out Crimson Dynamo, is my guess.
Okay.
Like, in the sense that this is going to be a, like, they have some of Anthony Stark's information, and they're, like, they were going to do an Iron Man before even Iron Man. And she did, she took that out back in the past or something.
Yeah. Because, yeah, in the comics, Crimson Dynamo is Vankov, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they don't have to do that in this. They haven't done that every time before. The MCU's got a lot of whatever they want to do.
Yeah, and the MCU likes to do the zigzag sometimes of, like, you've seen this before, you've gotten the big spoilers from your YouTube videos that are saying, like, oh, this is going to be the guy, and you watch the movie, it's like, no, we didn't do that, actually, ha ha ha. Yeah. It's actually this other guy.
So, yeah, Crimson Dynamo is a good guess.
I'm gonna just be straight out and say that's also because I don't know that many Russian supervillains.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or from, like, Rhino.
It's gonna be a radioactive man. Oh no, he's not Russian.
Oh no!
I don't know any Russians either, apparently.
Oh no!
But yeah, I got no real guesses either.
Yeah, I'm very loose on the guess too. Don't really know. No idea.
Yeah. So let's jump into this. If you are, not watching everything, this is your first reaction on the channel, I'm experiencing some medical shit, not that bad right now, which is why we're hopefully going to do a whole movie reaction. But yeah, if I do some weird stuff with my mouth, apologies for that. Yeah, also, like, I've said before, I'm reading through, like, every comic from the Silver Age onwards. I've barely gotten to Black Widow in any way, so I don't really have any preconceived notions going into this. I still mostly know Black Widow from the movies. Have not really gotten to anything in her in the comics. I don't know why I feel like I need to mention that now that people know I'm going through the comics for the Silver Age.
It adds a little extra stuff. Like, you may have known, like, a potential villain or something.
Like, yeah, I've seen her do, like, 2 things, and, like, right now she's got, like, we're just gonna give you basically everything to make you look Spider-Man.
Oh, no!
Like, that's what she's like, you can crawl on walls, and you can web sling, and all this stuff. It's like, now you're really the Black Widow. And it's like, okay. But yeah, so I'm not expecting anything I know from the comics to appear in here.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's jump into this. You want to get the full length, check it out on the Patreon below for $4 a month. You want to get early access to the next movie, because I think we're doing Shang-Chi next. Then we're doing What If. So see how far ahead we are on the Patreon. Go check it out. Okay, we are here now for the discussion of Black Widow.
Yeah.
First of all, let's get to the end of the stuff. I feel like it's always better to start with the end, because then we'll end up just talking the end if we try to go through it chronologically. So, first off, post-credit scene. We got shit from a Phase 4 TV show in a movie. We got shit from a movie tying it into another TV show coming up soon. Yeah. Which Hawkeye is after What If?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so basically the next canon TV show tying into here. Love that. Hell yeah. Yelena gonna also be like characters introduced in this, gonna stick around in the MCU. Red Guardian's probably gonna be sticking around.
Probably.
Yelena's gonna be sticking around.
Yeah, if we're gonna have like a main Black Widow, it's probably gonna be Yelena.
Yeah.
Like taking on her sister's name, like in the public, whereas all the other Black Widows would just be more in the shadows.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting because it's not like this does not feel the same as with Gamora, where we just kind of replaced her with another Gamora.
It's a real, our cat died, here's another cat, we're calling it the same thing.
So yeah, I like that this is like we have a new Widow, probably not going to join the Avengers, probably going to be she's kind of going through her Shield arc right now, where like she probably thinks she's working for really good people when
that's a really good way to put it.
It's pretty obvious that these are not great people.
Yeah.
But what an interesting team, quote unquote, like whatever's a part of this whole Val stuff. We've got Val as the head of it, but now we also got Yelena, we've got John Walker, and we've got Agent Carter.
Yeah.
It's not Agent Carter, but
Peggy, or not Peggy. God damn it,
Sharon Carter. But did they give her a name as well?
I mean, I guess just the power broker.
Yeah, but yeah. No. I was thinking of John Walker being U.S. agent now.
Okay,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, did they give her? No, that was John Walker, that is U.S. agent. Right. So, but yeah, what a team! What a team!
Seriously.
And yeah. Also, 1 second. Did they not call her Agent Carter, Sharon, in that like final scene?
Yes, they did. They did.
Okay, yeah.
When they were like, you're free to go, Agent Carter.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is Agent Carter now.
Yeah, the modern day Agent Carter. Yeah, so what a team. Interesting.
Yeah.
Going after Hawkeye because, like, I mean, like, they're going to try and frame it as though this is the one who killed your sister, so you should go after him. And, like, they're just going to be going after the Avengers in general, I guess, but trying to disguise it as, like, we're doing a good, you need to be held accountable for this thing. And, like, if like governmental agencies bring it up and stuff, they can go like, well, look at all the shit he did, during the 5-year time skip. And like that's why we're doing this.
This is a very like not exactly 1-to-1, but in the comics there is a group called the Dark Avengers, where it is a like different people, but they're taking on the names. Okay. And I could see Yelena being like the Black Widow of the Dark Avengers, U.S. agent being the Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agent Carter
doesn't really have one.
No.
Like, that's the thing that really throws me off. But I could see that being a thing going forward, like slowly building up this cast of people who are, a little darker than your average Avengers.
Yeah. And to be fair, she hasn't had any real connections with Valerie. To be fair. So Agent Carter might not be a part of it.
Yeah, because
we're just kind of assuming.
Yeah, but we definitely ended out on and she can keep doing power broker shits.
Yeah.
Like, she was calling her people and saying, I have access to everything the government has now.
Yeah.
So I think she's definitely way more her own faction.
Yeah, with Val and everything like that, I really thought there was a connection there, because we had these two separate things that were kind of the same.
Right.
Somebody in the government that has, like, all this control and everything like that. But, yeah, it could be completely separate factions for all we know.
Yeah, because I think that actually makes a lot more sense to me as a, like, Val, I assume, is going to be very pro-government.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I imagine Power Broker is going to be way more of a, kind of an aim-ish situation. A, like, we're making bad guys, or we're, like, selling bad guys or technology to the highest bidder.
They might, like, work with her, but not, like, in the sense that they're the same organization.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But yeah, so maybe we're setting up the Dark Avengers. Which is funny that we have a different Captain America as a Dark Avenger, and not the Red Guardian, who he would try and consider, like, as he said, like, we're not rivals, more like we're contemporaries, or you're on the equal level. But yeah, the only, like, nitpick I would have with the entire thing is that it felt weird that we had, like, you guys go and leave, I'm gonna hold General Ross off, and then that didn't look matter in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was just kind of a reason for them to have to separate there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you know, what else are you going to do? There has to be a reason for them to separate there.
Yeah.
But yeah. And like, I get why she would, you know, it's hard for her to do a big pivot to, I'm going to go break the Avengers out of prison and, like, not talk with my family for, you know, a long time.
Yeah.
But, and who knows? Did they talk during that 5-year time skip? Did they not? We don't really know.
Don't really know, but I appreciate that, you know, them all, you know, just getting away from a very evil organization. I can understand why they wouldn't want to, you know, even join her Avengers. Mm-hmm. Like, why they would just not be around in Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah. It makes sense to me. It's a clear, like, we're doing our own thing in the shadows. You're not going to see us.
Yeah. For a prequel, done incredibly well.
Yeah.
I feel like with prequels, there's so much that I'm normally like, oh, it's so forced that you did this and this and this just to find a reason why these characters weren't around or whatever, but this feels completely natural. Really, the only nitpick for the entire movie I have is, one, Natasha should have got a funeral.
I fully agree.
Natasha should have got a funeral. A grave is not enough. I mean, it is pointing out that, like, she is not appreciated. Yeah. Like, even after all this, even going back to the Avengers still did not appreciate her enough. The Avengers still didn't give her a fucking funeral.
Seriously.
But it's not a problem I have with the movie. I think the movie was like, if we do a funeral, it's gonna mess with the message a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna mess with the message. Also, it's gonna feel weird for the timeline in the sense of like, well, why didn't we see this during Endgame? Yeah. Or like, why didn't we do X? Or like, for something that is very much going with the flow and doing the whole like we're in the shadows, we're spies. They did as well as I can imagine them to do. Yeah. And in general for this franchise, there is a lot of also... My color correction looks like shit. I just realized. Oh, man. My reaction is probably a little bit red. Sorry about that. It's the red room. I can't do... Oh, I never explained why I'm wearing a one-piece hat. I'm wearing a one-piece hat because it's Black Widow colors. I hope people realize that. People understand. It's fine.
It's Black Widow colors, and she's dead.
Oh, skull and crossbones.
But, yeah, like, the Avengers are... very good, but there's also a lot that you can point at them for not being good. Yeah. And like, you know, the funeral is another one on there, even if they probably did not intend that to be the case during Endgame. I fully feel like when they made Endgame, they didn't really think about how fucked up it was that she didn't get a funeral.
I think so.
And now in retrospect, we're going to touch on that more. But, yeah, either way. As you said, it would have been weird to do that. I mean, as well, like, you know, Captain America didn't know about it because Natasha didn't know about it, but Yelena saying that, oh, I was just waiting for Captain America to come and take down the Red Room, and then we actually have the Red Guardian. Yeah, Red Guardian. All the names now are like slipping out of my mind right now. No. The Red Guardian, yeah, like he was the one who actually took it down. Like, it's not, I mean, well, he barely did shit. He didn't do almost anything at all, which I love. Like, he's our super soldier for the whole movie, and he don't do shit. He never fights really anybody except for Taskmaster, and he doesn't do a very good job against her.
It's way more just like holding her off.
Yeah. But even then, I was like, yeah, this is probably the only person who's going to be able to go up against the Taskmaster, and no, not even close. It's so bad. He was crawling away like elf when they came in to save his ass.
Holy crap. His actor really stole the show, like, every time he was on screen. Like, for the singular, like, big, like, you know, comic relief.
Like, yeah, he is extremely good. Once again, it's already slipped my mind. It's like something Harbor. I can't remember it. But, yeah, excellent choice for him.
Yeah, I've been getting into Stranger Things for the first time, and so it's extremely funny to see him being a Russian guy.
I haven't seen him in anything else. I should say, maybe I have, and I just don't remember. But yeah, he's doing, and like, also seeing him at the beginning of the movie, and then like as you know in prison and post that and everything like that. He's just such a good job of acting in all these different like aspects of this character and stuff.
Yeah, like, everyone else can be a little more subdued, but he really sells the, like, the explosive feeling you want from, you know, from, like, an over-the-top character that, you know, allows everyone else to then emote via his, like, extreme emotions. Yeah. Whether it's by shutting him down, or whether it is by, like, going, well, yeah, fuck you.
And it works very well in this movie of, you know, his whole character in the movie being the, what's the word I'm looking for? The obligatory non what everybody else in the movie is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, it bothered me the most in Black Panther, where we have the white guy, whoever the fuck he was, I don't know.
Everett Ross.
Everett Ross, yeah. The only thing I know about him is that he shit his pants in the comics.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I know about him. But yeah, that was just unneeded. He wasn't a funny character, really. It was just completely unneeded. Versus this was like, you know, he's comedic relief the whole time, and, you know, an absolute buffoon that doesn't get to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, even Everett gets to have, like, his moment there at the end, and it's like, this guy doesn't get to have a moment. You know, he's a buffoon, he's an absolute simpleton, and we don't need that, you know? We don't need that in this kind of movie, you know? We can set him up, he can do shit in the future, but, like, this is just, he was so perfect as the comedic relief.
Yeah, and, like, he does get emotional moments, but they are, like, also just undercut because he's the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Like, you can see him over the course of the movie trying harder and harder to, like, you know, to repent and say, like, no, that did mean a lot to me. Like, I was annoyed at the time because I was like, I want to be cool hero man.
Yeah.
But now, in hindsight, he's like, actually, you know what? That did mean a lot to me.
And yeah, I appreciate that. Like, I really thought I thought he was gonna be the final villain of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, when you said that, I was like, yeah, that actually sounds right. It's,
It's like, oh, you gotta kill the father. It's the big one. But no, father, and then when he enters the mother, it's like, oh, okay, no, she's the big evil one, and it's like, I mean, not even like she's gonna be the big bad, because at that point we knew that the man behind everything, don't remember his name. Like, you know, that he was going to be the big bad, but it was still like, oh, okay, she's the truly fucking evil one. And then we go like, okay, maybe not. No, okay, she is going to be, okay, no, never mind. Excellent. So, like, yeah, such a good twist movie. It's a spy movie.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta fucking have the good twists in there. As you kept saying, everything you think you know is wrong.
Yeah, I can't believe how incredibly distinct that was throughout the entire thing. Even down to, yeah, the one big, you know, I murdered a little girl thing wrong, but her fate was even more fucked up than if you murdered her.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, because now she can,
She have a future. Like,
she can have a future.
That's the big thing of, like, if you kill someone, they can't have a future. They can't do anything else. Like, that's the ultimate nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, yeah.
And it is actually really cool in retrospect that, like, post-Civil War, is when she becomes, like, way more, I don't know, not beating herself up about her past as much. She can lead the Avengers, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, that all came out after this, which is, like, after the big red on her ledger was like, oh, okay, thank God I didn't actually kill her. And that does mean that it caused a lot of other bad shit in the world, because by not killing him, that means, like, all these widows happened, the mind control happened, all this shit happened.
Yeah.
And it is like, would it have been better for her to die? But at the very least, the widows are free now. She is free now.
Yeah, like, all you can really do is move forward. And I think that actually fits really well with her characterization in, like, Infinity War, and especially in Endgame.
Yeah.
Where it is the big, like, you know, this is not spy shit she's doing now. She's just coordinating a team. She's trying to stop earthquakes from happening. It's the big, like, the best thing I can do is move out of my comfort zone and go into a leadership position, which is not what any of my life has trained me for.
Yeah.
But it's what people want, and it's what no one else is doing right now, so someone's got to do it.
And we said that she talked to her family during the 5-year time skip. Were they around? Were they snapped?
Yeah,
we don't know.
We don't know.
And nothing in that end scene would imply either way. Also, still can't get over it. For that grave, there's for someone as public of a hero as like literally a superhero, not a whole lot around that grave of like gifts or flowers or stuff like. Because I assume a lot of that's from her family, maybe from other widows and stuff.
Yeah, there was like a portrait of two dudes in there.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, why is that there? But in hindsight, it's like, well, there should be a lot of random people who are like, yeah, you helped, you know, coordinate the effort that saved my family. So the fact that there's not that much there is actually shocking.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it like, just putting a picture of your family that you saved next to that doesn't really, if someone else walking on the grave, it's like, what the fuck does that mean? But probably means a lot to them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, I would just expect way more stuff there of, like, yeah, she was one of the half that saved the world.
Yeah.
Come on, people. Show some respect.
And to be fair, I'm curious, like, maybe we'll get this in Hawkeye, but, like, what do people know about what happened on Vormir?
Yeah.
Because I imagine, you know, like, like, what does Yelena especially know about it? Like, did Hawkeye come out and say, you know, we had a big fist fight to determine who...
Yeah, I highly doubt it. I mean, I would assume it was just she died during the fights.
Yeah, especially since, you know, at this point also Hawkeye spending his whole time just beating up Japanese people. I imagine if you said you killed her, he would say, yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably would, because, yeah, he's probably beating himself up about that, too, so... Yeah. Like, yeah, Hawkeye's gonna be very fascinating, because we haven't really seen much with him, you know, post that.
Yeah, like, where is he now?
Because, yeah, I doubt he's even like, well, now time for me to spend time with my family. Because even then, it's like, now I have to constantly look at my child that's named after the person I killed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be rough.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, now where do we go? I think we talked a lot about the ending there. I'm just, first of all, we're still in the ending. Everything with the big bad man. Oh, yeah. I don't care enough to learn his name. He's a shithead.
What is that? It's like Drushkov or something.
Yeah. But yeah, like, everything to do with the, oh, I had the pheromones, that way you can't actually hit me, and, like, you know, her, like, knowing that was gonna happen, like, at first I was like, oh, did she already cut out the nerve and everything like that? But there would have been a scar or something.
Yeah.
But no, like, you know, just letting that happen, knowing that, like, she's putting herself in danger in this room, she can't do anything against him, Taskmaster's also in this room.
Yeah.
And, everything to do with, him being, like, so, like, yeah, her talking back, causing him to get so angry and volatile.
I mean, a lot of people's favorite Black Widow moment, even to this day, I mean, not sure about this movie, of course, but is still the Loki interrogation.
Yeah, it's so good.
And we haven't had one of those for a while, and I appreciate this wasn't a, like, one-to-one reference. It creates the same feeling, where when she drops the other pin, it's like, oh, I get it, you were fucking with him this whole time. Like, you know that he's, you know, she's fucking with him, but you don't realize how deep it is until the big twist. Even down to the big, like, I imagine, you know, she had to make sure she didn't break that nerve, even with the, like, facial thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think she would have been able to stop herself from killing him.
Yeah.
So, like, having the pheromone in there, knowing that she literally can't do it, would sell it so much better than if she had to try and act out like, oh no, I can't kill you.
Yeah. And yeah, I like that we have a plan from the start that we keep cutting back to learn, like, what's going on as the things happen, but then also that plan goes to shit as it has to constantly. Yeah, just really good spy movie.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really get these kind of movies anymore very often. Even when we do, they're like part of huge franchises now.
Yeah, like this.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Very, very much so enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know what to, like, nothing more I can say about that. Just, like, I like the spy stuff. I'm not normally into spy stuff. I like the spy stuff a hell of a lot. Anything you want to talk about with the, like, spy nature of the whole movie, the, like, genre and everything? Very new for the MCU.
Yeah, like, the closest thing I have to it is really Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Which
had a bit of that... It was more of a political thriller than a spy thing.
Yeah.
It was the big, like, there's a conspiracy, there is a secret thing that controls the world, we're the ones who've been causing all the wars, which is very much like the big bad of this movie.
Yeah.
But in a very different way.
Which is interesting, because he was saying, like, we can do all this, but I don't think they have done any of that. But he was showing footage like they already have.
Yeah.
But... I thought that was supposed to set them apart from Hydra. Hydra's like, look at all this shit we have caused, whereas he's like, look at all this power I could use, and it's like, but you don't, so could you even use it, maybe?
Yeah. Like, I do think she puts it very well when she says that he has all this power, but he's also invisible. Like, he can't do that much. And there's also the unspoken, like, you haven't done any good with this either, right? Like, have you been helping Russia with this power?
Yeah.
Have you been doing, like, have you been stopping wars?
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing any of this? What is the point of any of it? It's just to feel powerful over a bunch of little girls.
Truly. I mean, that's also such a big, like, he is using the most weak, vulnerable people on the planet, like, literally, like, girls that he is finding their DNA from, like, birth, essentially, and then robbing them from their families or kidnapping them or however it goes.
I'm surprised we did not get a, like, where did that technology come from? The infant technology, because that feels like some real Hydra shield shit.
I think they did bring that up, actually.
Did they?
Or, no, I'm thinking of the brainwashing stuff. You're right.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they brought up the infant, like...
No.
Because that's like the Project
Insights?
Project Insights, but for infants.
Child Insights.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the same sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was, that's the one thing I was like, oh, I think we might get a reveal that was S.H.I.E.L.D. And, that, even further reinforces the, oh, good God, I fucked up so much.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really do anything either with S.H.I.E.L.D., shooting at her at the beginning, and then,
Well, we kind of did, because the reason why they were shooting at her is because her parents were getting the disc with all the S.H.I.E.L.D. information on how to, do brainwashing.
Fair, yeah. But I'm saying, I meant more that we didn't do anything with her, reflecting on that.
Okay.
In any way.
Yeah, fair.
I thought we were going to get more of that, but I'm not disliking it. It was just, that's what I was expecting during the movie.
Mm.
But, yeah. Okay, do you want to start at the beginning now, or you still got more thoughts in the end?
I think let's go to the beginning, and we'll get to the end eventually, should there be anything to mop up.
Yeah. So, I was not expecting her to be, growing up in the 90s in America for 3 years, but still, that was, a big, we don't learn that was for 3 years for halfway through the movie. So, for a lot of the movie, it's oh, okay, shit, I guess, they were in Russia, moved to America, grew up in America for a long time, and then this was happening.
And, that is her entire childhood. Because before then, she's in the Red Room.
Yeah.
After that, back into the Red Room.
Yeah.
For her, for Yelena, she only knew that. She didn't know about the Red Room until after that. Yeah. So, I do love how much they managed to sell. That those 3 years were their entire lives, essentially. Both the kids and also the parents. Because they didn't have lives outside of that at all. Her mom went through the Red Room 3 times before...
4 times.
Right. Before presumably they just said, you're not working out.
Yeah.
You're just going to be on staff now.
Yeah, Or she just got too old.
Mm-hmm.
Because if, Black Widow went to the Red Room twice.
Yeah.
And it's not like that was a failure.
Right.
So you might just, you go to the Red Room, you do a long mission or something like that, you go back into the Red Room, shit like that. But we didn't see any other, old widows, so.
No. Yeah, they probably get executed at some point, when they're not in their prime.
Yeah.
Or maybe they move into, more service positions after that.
Yeah. But, the fact that she was, so smart tech-wise, probably what kept her from being executed. But even then, she was being, the big bad thought that, he would have control over her and everything like that. So, there is that aspect. She was still technically a widow in that regard.
Even Red Guardian was disposable ultimately.
Yeah.
In the sense that he was, a hero of Russia for a little bit, then he went undercover for 3 years, came back out, was immediately thrown into the gulag for 20 years.
Yeah.
What?
I can't believe we never saw the fucking tattoo on his back fully done.
Yeah.
That felt we see everything but the face, and then the tattoo artist keeps screwing up, and then we never see it. It was I thought that was gonna be a joke or something. It was really fucked up. He was going look at this pride on my back or something like that. It's shitty.
I wouldn't be surprised if that got cut at some point.
Maybe. That might be a deleted scene or something.
Yeah, because you're right. That feels so much like the setup to a punchline.
Mm-hmm. But, either way, yeah, love just seeing him all tatted. Seeing this, the red Captain America, all, tatted up, giant beard, too fat to fit in the suit. Oh, such a good look.
Yeah. And I really, really wonder who he was fighting, because I'm fully convinced now, at least, he 100% believes he fought Captain America, even though that's not possible.
Yeah, I guess it must have just been, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know what it could have been.
Because, in the comics, they got the infamous Commie Smasher Cap, who is, of course, just a teacher who was hey, me and my pupil have decided to become Captain America and Bucky, and we got surgery to look like them, and we're gonna go fight the commies.
Oh my god. When did this happen?
Very briefly in, the 80s.
Okay, where was Captain America still around, right?
I believe that, it was a straight movement of, we're gonna do this Cap, and then we're gonna retire him for a little bit, and then we're gonna do this run, and that entire run was then retconned as, actually, it was the teacher.
Okay, I see.
Because they were no one really liked this run where we just had him fighting commies all the time.
Oh. Captain America has the most retcons of any fucking character. Because it's just what people want to see, Cap being an absolute piece of shit, and then everybody goes, no, we don't, and they go, oh, that wasn't Cap, don't worry.
That was some other guy, don't worry about it.
So many of them. Whereas it'd probably be more compelling if they just did that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm not sure if that'll ever come up again, but, it might. The main thing is that no one else has ever brought it up as even a, like, oh yeah, the government tried to do a fake cap at some point.
Yeah.
You know, we saw the Smithsonian, and there's no mention of a, like, by the way, Cap was here.
Yeah.
So it's possible he was also just wasted, or it could have just been some dude.
Yeah, I mean, or he's just lying. Or he's just that egotistical.
It's possible. Like, the reason I don't want to believe that is because he seemed so unbelievably convinced of it. But yeah, he could have also just deluded himself.
Do you mean in the prison, or was there a moment
After that.
After that.
Yeah, after that when he's talking to the kids, or, you know, to his daughters, he says it again, and that's when they tell him, like, you know, there was no cap at that point.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if he fully believes it either. I think he's bullshit, and he just hopes that everybody else is going to believe him. I mean, I don't know. Might be the actual ultimate. We will see eventually, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll either see or we won't.
This is, by the way, I just want to say, because I say it in so many, I say the opposite in so many of your previous reactions. This is a movie in the MCU where almost no pieces are taken off the table except for the Red Room.
Yeah.
But everything else still around, so used to the old, especially Phase 2, Phase 3, where it's like, and now everyone you know in this movie except for the main characters are dead.
Yeah.
We will never bring any of this up again.
Which is a big strength of Phase 4, and we're seeing it in the movie now.
Yeah, like, especially for a prequel movie, I 100% thought this was going to be a big, and now everything based on this has been wiped off the table, especially, you know, Natasha herself is dead, you know, going forward, so yeah. I thought we could do this as a big, and now all of this will be submerged in the shadows, never be talked about again. Except for, like, you know, one thing that carries on, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, there's so much shit.
Yeah. Fucking love it. That's the strength of not killing off all your fucking characters. Like, and they really get us because they know we're going in this thinking like, well, Yelena's gonna die, the parents are gonna die, and they don't do it.
That is genuinely way more shocking.
Yeah, I was just talking about that the other day.
Yeah,
where it's like it's so much more shocking in a movie now for them, or in a TV show, for them to not kill off any given character, because it's just that's like the kind of era that we live in now of just like. You just expect the character to die, and it's not a big shock when a major character dies. It's just like a, really, you're doing this for shock value? Yeah,
it's the mix of anyone can die culture combined with just knowing like, oh yeah, actors get expensive.
Yeah.
So it just, you know, it makes sense for them to take the very big popular character and kill them off.
And like, yeah, it's gonna be talked about, it's gonna get a lot of news and that, but it's just like, there's so few shows where anybody can die is a big appeal. You know? There's very few. Like, you know, Game of Thrones and Walking Dead are the two that immediately come to mind. Like, don't have another one that immediately comes to mind.
Yeah.
You gotta really structure the whole show around it. But yeah, so very, very glad that they didn't do something like that in this movie. Boy, where do we go from here? We've been all over the place. Every time we're all over the place, it's like, what do we talk about next?
Movie.
I mean, we also have like Natasha's friend. I don't think we even got his name at all.
Oh fuck! I don't think we did.
No, but he's still around. He is, you know, a like character that could help some of the like TV show stuff going on. I doubt it would come up in the movies again. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because like how's he gonna help the Avengers? But like he could help some of the TV show heroes.
Oh yeah. Because, yeah, he feels very, very, like, you know, he'd help people who are on the run. He has access to kind of anything, but also, like, there's heat on him, so, you know, there's a good reason why he might not be able to get certain things, but he can get other things. And we still have Natasha's tab. Like, presumably she didn't pay it off before she died. So whether, like, Yelena does it, or maybe Clint will do it, you know, like, there's so many characters who could do it as a, like, big, I want to, like, you know, clear her name, I want to redeem this. Or even just, like, you know, she told me about you, and then, oh, god damn it, she stuck me with her tab. Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, if we got a huge funeral for Tony, we should have at least put some of the Stark money towards paying off Natasha's tab that they didn't know about. But, yeah, maybe he'll show up in Hawkeye. You know?
I could see it.
Because Hawkeye might be either him on the run, or him, you know, just doing shit in the street, because he is trying to get shit out of his head.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a big part of it.
But yeah, so that might appear. We still got him. The Taskmaster, so fucking cool we got Taskmaster in this movie.
Seriously.
Huge shock to us both.
Yeah, and Taskmaster's still out there as well.
Yeah. Not quite as Taskmaster, but probably still as good.
Yeah.
The brainwashing doesn't make you a better fighter.
Like, I imagine that's all her. Like, she knows all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I wonder what the chip does.
Yeah, because he brought up specifically I had to put a little chip in her back.
Like I had to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just, like, you know, to help her whole body work, maybe? Like,
maybe.
If she has, like, you know, big spine damage or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I was a little concerned about the whole, like, are we going to take Taskmaster and use this character as, like, someone who works for one organization and then dies at the end of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
But because she survives and she's, you know, free and she hates her dad... Like, she could really show up anywhere else, and I would buy it as like, you'd be working for this person, whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And I'd totally buy it. So.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, I'm excited to see this group show up in some way, because they are a huge force now. We have, basically, a bunch of people who are close to the level of an Avenger. Not quite. Like, it's interesting, because, like, power scaling-wise, which always is iffy to do, but, you know, Natasha and Yelena seem to be about equal. And then all the other widows are like a level below. Yeah. But they're still insane. They're still crazy. And like, the reason why Natasha won in the end of that final room there was, again, also because they weren't going for a killing blow. Whereas if they were going for a killing blow, maybe it would have been a different story.
Probably.
Like, Yelena was going for a killing blow in that fight. So, you know, maybe that's why I would say, like, they're on a level below, but that's just because they weren't going for a killing blow.
They're just trying to make it hurt.
Yeah. So, we have an entire team now, and they're also going around the globe to collect more of these people. There's going to be hundreds of people who, at the worst, are a step below Romanoff and Avenger. And they also have, again, a super soldier, and now Taskmaster, and a girl in the chair. Like, they basically are, the Avengers are also going around the world avenging. Like, they are also the Avengers. After Endgame, what is an Avenger is so, you know, at this point, I've been saying whoever showed up when Gap said Avengers Assemble is an Avenger. All the sorcerers are Avengers. No! Anybody in that fight was an Avenger. I'm saying it.
I'm currently on the train of there are no Avengers right now.
Okay.
If you're getting money from the Avenger pension fund from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe. But even then, if you're not on a team that is currently calling themselves the Avengers, you're not an Avenger.
Okay.
Because I think, honestly, it's probably better for the MCU to not have Avengers for a while.
Because, like, the only thing we know about the Avengers current time is that Captain America, Sam Wilson, is an Avenger.
Yeah.
Bucky Barnes is not an Avenger. That's the only thing we concretely know.
Yeah.
Also, just that, you know, like, in WandaVision, they made mention of Avengers. So the Avengers are definitely still a thing.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what the fuck that is anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, if Bucky isn't considered an Avenger, I guess all the random sorcerers aren't Avengers. But until I'm told, they're not.
That's fine. That's totally fair.
So, these are Avengers too. But yeah, unclear what the Avengers are going to be going forward. But I like that we have a team out there that is, even for building up the Dark Avengers, we have another team out here who's maybe in the level of the Avengers. It's, again, how many Black Widows does it take to make all the Avengers?
How many Black Widows does it take to kill a Hulk?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Like, how many Widows do you have to have before you equal the strength of whatever the Avengers is now?
Right.
Because also a lot of our powerhouses aren't around. You know, we don't have the strength of the Hulk anymore. We kind of maybe do, but maybe not. He's got a fucked up arm, so it's hard to say. He could probably still wreck some absolute shithouse. But you know, Hulk's weakened. Thor's gone. You know, Super Soldier Cap is gone. Even though I would argue that Sam Wilson, Captain America, seems to be able to do more than Cap could do, both with the wings and the suit and just everything. But who am I forgetting? Wanda's not around.
Yeah.
Vision's gone.
Yeah, Hawkeye is somewhere.
Yeah, Hawkeye might still be part of it. Maybe not.
Maybe. Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see when we get to the show. But yeah, not a lot of big powerhouses anymore. No Iron Man. You know, who are you comparing the skill to anymore?
Right.
There's a lot of small people now. Like, you know, Ant-Man might be one of the strongest people they got now.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about. But it's true, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I might be forgetting somebody big, but there's so many of them now. I mean, Doctor Strange is pretty powerful, too.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is very strong.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many widows it would take to counter magic. But,
Also,
I mean,
like,
is Doctor Strange an Avenger? Is he?
probably not.
I guess. I mean, maybe not. You know, what is an Avenger? What is an Avenger?
Okay, enough of this.
Okay, back to the movie. We got the Budapest thing.
Finally.
Like, yeah, you said, you know, oh, we might get the Budapest thing. I didn't think we were going to get the Budapest thing. I was so, like, you know, oh, they threw it out there as, like, a funny joke sort of thing. But, like, you know, we're not going to actually, like, get that. But no, we got it, and it was big, and it was damn, and, like, I really thought it was going to be way more of a comedic, haha, we caused a lot of chaos. But it's like, no, it was awful.
Yeah. And I appreciate, honestly, that, like, we didn't actually see it happen. Like, apart from, you know, the assassination. But there's all that other stuff where they just talk about it. And, like, there's a point where, you know, like, Clint was in their room, like, shooting arrows. There's a lot that is still left to the, you know, to the imagination.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we also did concretely touch on it. We know what it was. I appreciate that.
And it's like, instead of seeing the past mission in Budapest, we see, like, the current situation in Budapest that they're dealing with right now.
Yeah, and, like, they're walking in the footsteps a little bit. Again, it's not the cheesy, like, every movie we make is exactly what I did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But it is just like, yeah, I've been here, so I know that you can go up here, and that's safe. Or, yeah, I know this general thing that we can do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. I thought we were going to get a lot of flashback stuff in this, but surprisingly, very, very little.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think anybody on Earth would have thought that's what the Red Room was. The Red Room is the ultimate, like, it's just a red room somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is like, no, it's a giant floating station in the clouds.
It really puts into perspective, you know, the fact that the world suffered so much after the snap is in part because, you know, partially because the people who were, you know, moving all the stuff around were, you know, doing it inefficiently. Part of it's also, like, you know, Russia's funding this fucking thing that floats in the air and doesn't do anything.
Well, not during the time skip. Oh, you mean like why they're doing better during the time skip? Because they're not funding this?
I mean, if there's one of those in the air, I gotta imagine there's at least 5 more.
I don't think there's 5 more Red Rooms.
Maybe not from Russia, but I think other countries got this shit in the air.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there's gotta be another flying base somewhere.
If the Black Widows are also out there, I imagine they're fighting other shit that's out there that we're not seeing.
Probably.
If you know one billionaire that's doing nothing, there's gotta be 20 you don't even know about. That's just how the world works.
Yeah. It's also, like, this makes Hydra look like such little bitches. Like, they're hiding in, like, bunkers in the ground and shit like that. Meanwhile, this motherfucker's up in the sky. God, they're fucking, like, they were trying to take control of the helicarriers and stuff like that. And it's like, you should just built another one in secret.
Just make a hidden one. Just do Project Insight, but make them tiny. Or just make them bigger.
Yeah, they were tiny. I don't think it would work that well. But yeah, man, what a cool original story we got too.
Seriously,
like, you know, I was just expecting it to be mostly prequel stuff, and like we do in the sense like, oh, we're doing the Red Room and we're doing that stuff. But as you were talking about, like, oh, they didn't take any pieces off the table. Yeah, they kind of like, we thought the Red Room was off the table, and they put that back on the table and took it off again.
Yeah,
and I again, I appreciate that more than doing the classic prequel thing of like, here's this giant thing that actually happened here, but we're not gonna like really talk about it that much. And it's like, well, the reason not to talk about this that much is because, like, one, there's not a whole lot of fallout from this.
Right.
Like, the fallout that is from this is being taken care of by the widows.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, the Avengers don't really need to know about it. And even though, like, she's going to come back and be like, by the way, the Red Room was real. By the way, I already took it down again. Like,
yeah, like, why would you bring it up?
Yeah. I mean, she might have brought it up, but it's not like it's not like the, why didn't you say anything to them? It's like, well, maybe she did. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It's done. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, not doing any of the classic prequel shit of like, oh no, Black Widow might die here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the peril is all on the characters where we genuinely don't know if they survive or not.
Yeah. And like, yeah, the only like kind of prequelist thing is like, oh, I guess she just had no sense of smell for the rest of the MCU after this point. But like, I don't remember any scene where she's like, that's a good smell. Also, again, just like amazing locations. We've got so many different locations. The CGI all looked fantastic. The practical stuff all looked really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic fight choreography.
Also glad, like, this was massive, but also in the scale of the MCU, relatively small. Like, you know, no other planets.
Yeah.
No, like, you know, enormous armies. I appreciate that, we're starting off the movies of Phase 4 with something that is, a bit smaller and self-contained within the scope of what the MCU does.
Yeah.
Just one giant invisible, location in the sky that got annihilated.
Yeah. But, like, the stakes are not really, like, the classic, like, if we don't do this, then the world is fucked. It's kind of like, this shit's already fucked. It's been fucked for years, and we're just finding out that it's still around, and we gotta go take care of it, because of course we do.
Yeah.
But it's not a, like, into the world, or, like, something's about to happen, I'm gonna hit my big destroy everything button, or anything.
Yeah, it was gonna continue on as normal. Most people wouldn't even know it happens.
And yeah, like, most of the, like, stakes for Natasha in the movie are, like, the emotional stakes, the trauma and dealing with that, and, like, I really appreciate where we leave off with her parents, where it's not like a, I forgive you guys, but it's also not like a, I'm gonna kill you guys.
Yeah.
It's this, like, and, like, I really thought we were gonna get the, like, third beat of him, Alexei trying to say the thing again, but, like, he's like, at this point, I can't.
Much better third beat, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I appreciate where we end off there, where she's not, like, it meant something to her, but she's also not clinging to it, because they're not the best of parents even now. I like them a lot as characters, but it's the classic, like, you can't ask to be forgiven. It either has to come, or, if it doesn't come, that's fine too.
Yeah.
There's some shit that just, how do you get over this?
Yeah, I'm glad it was more of just a, like, not just her, but all four of them reclaiming this memory, this past, is like, you know what? We all admit now that it was, it was still fucked. It was definitely fucked, but it meant something to us, and we can live with that, and that doesn't mean that we forgive each other or we're going to be a happy little family after this.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we can accept that, we had some good memories there.
It's also interesting, I just realized, like, every superhero TV show ever is always the, like, they gotta earn it. They gotta earn the superhero thing, they gotta earn the whatever thing. Whatever is a part of their character in the comics, whether it be a, like, aesthetic thing, or, like, a training thing, or a move, or whatever, they gotta earn it. But the movies for the MCU have never really done that. It's just kind of been like, you're right in it, you got it, you're the superhero, go. And, like, so it's interesting that Phase 4 is now going back and being like, let's classify, like, what these characters are, what makes them, like, so much of Phase 4 is the, like, we're gonna do the definitive, this character in the MCU, because we've been kind of wishy-washy with what all these characters are, across the board, all of them. There's so much, again, it's the thing we complain about all the time, where most of the characterization happens between the movies, rather than in the movies. And so it's a lot of, like, because that's the case, we really need to delve into who these characters are, what's their big emotional arcs, blah, blah, blah. So we got that with Wanda, we got it with Sam, we got it with Bucky, we're getting it with Black Widow, we got it with Loki. And again, it's also a lot of family stuff, too.
Yeah.
Like, Loki not quite with family stuff, more like self. But still... And that's also not over, so who knows where that's going.
Yeah.
But, we got a lot of the self with Loki, but other than that, and a lot of these are also, like, what does it mean to be you, the person, but also what does it mean to be the role? But, like, not everyone is like, what does it mean to be Wanda?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be the Black Widow? But, like, we have a little bit of that. With either what does it mean to be the name, or what does it mean to be the title? Or both. But yeah, we also have WandaVision has, like, the recontextualization of her family and getting to see that. Sam, we get to see his family and all that stuff. So and then now in this we get to see her family. Phase 4 seems like it might be a big family, like, family and taking up the title. Like, those are, like, the two big things we're doing in Phase 4 right now.
I can see that. Because, like, one of the strengths of Phase 3, or, like, of the MCU in general, was this idea of, like, we don't have to do origin stories anymore. Fuck origin stories.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do the thing. And, also, fuck the concept of being a character. Don't care about that. We're just gonna, everyone's just sort of their actual first name.
Yeah.
And, it was revolutionary for the time, and let them do a lot of stuff really fast, and, like, set up the universe. And I think, like, now the MCU is in a more stable place where they can go backwards and do more, like, soul-searching. Now that they know for a fact that we don't have to sell, like, anyone who cares about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier doesn't need to be sold on the concepts of, can I accept the concept of a man who flies with wings? Can I accept man with one arm? It is just like, you know it, but now what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be really interesting seeing, like, Phase 4 TV shows that are Origins. And, like, how is that handled? Are we still going to do they have to earn it at the end? Or is it going to be... Because, like, it doesn't feel as bad to do the, like... I mean, Falcon the Winter Soldier is very different. It's not that he needs to earn it. It is, like, the, you know... he needs to tell himself that this is worth it at all.
Yeah.
But like, it still has that, like, he's not going to be Captain America until the end of it. And you kind of know that going into it.
Yeah.
But, like... Is that going to be the case with the other ones? Or is it going to be the, you can't be X until the end of this?
Yeah. Because also, they can't really do the Spider-Man or the Black Widow thing, or sorry, Black Panther thing, rather, of, we're just going to throw this character in.
Yeah.
Like, you know basically what the deal is.
I highly doubt Moon Knight's going to appear in Hawkeye.
You don't think Moon Knight's going to show up and go like, you know who Moon Knight is? Why would I need to explain who Moon Knight is?
Yeah.
You know who Ms. Marvel is.
So yeah, I'm very curious how those are going to go.
Yeah.
You know? Or if it's just going to be, from the start, like, is it going to be the I've been a superhero and, you know, here's my whole deal, or what?
Yeah, because I could see why they might want to do that. Like, why they might want to just, like, first episode, they're already the thing, and then we do, like, a flashback or something, like in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. When we get to those are still a ways off.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, back to the movie at hand. Yeah, I really love that. Like, as well as I think this is just like a very, very good, you know, women-led movie. In like the, you know, the truest sense, where like 99% of the characters in this are women.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Miss Marvel or something. Like, this is a very like all like the big bad is the big like you know, patriarchal figure.
Yeah.
Like, even like trying to like act like the Red Guardian, yes. I always think Red Guardian, like, he wasn't Red Guardian, right?
No, it's Red
He wasn't Red Guardian. But, yeah, like, he, you know, even being the patriarch of the family, does not, like, have that vibe very much. Because he's so stupid and so simple. It seems like that at the beginning, but then at the end, it's like, oh, no, it's kind of the mom was way more, like, the one in charge. Like, she was the brains. He was just the brawn. But, yeah, like, having, like, the big bad be, like, the one man in the movie, and him being, like, also, you know, him saying, like, the most disposable resource in the world, girls, is, like, so perfect. You know, I always appreciate the, you know, hitting the nail on the head, like, being right on the nose with it. I always appreciate that, rather than trying to, like, skirt around it, like, oh, we can't just we can't just say the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, having it be, you know, 99% women is, again, compared to, like, something like Captain Marvel, which was, you know, the actual first, like, women-led MCU movie, but it didn't really feel like it. Like, they were going very heavy in the writing, but the movie itself didn't really give that vibe as much.
Yeah, like, Captain Marvel is just a very flawed movie in a lot of ways. Like, it's hard to put down a pin on, like, this is the exact reason why this, you know, thing didn't work. But just, no one walks away from Captain Marvel going like, damn, I love, you know, the way this representation works.
Yeah, like, it's way more of a mom movie than it is, like, you know, this being, like, just a great movie for, you know, a women-led movie. Just, it's awesome. It's fucking cool. There's 1,000 fucking cool women in this movie. They're all dope. I mean, seeing the credits list where it's just, like, widows. Giant list. Like, yeah. And, like, Captain Marvel is, like, yeah, you got Captain Marvel, and you got, what's her name, her friend?
Monica?
Monica, yeah. Now, so used to say Maria. Or no.
No,
yes, Maria, yes, and then Monica is the girl, yes.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I was right. But yeah, we have Maria and some of that, but it's still, also, like, Fury being such a big part of it.
I'd say, honestly, a big part of why I don't think Captain Marvel hit for me is because it's very focused on the idea of, you know, it's a very uphill battle to be a woman who is, like, appreciated, understood, and strong. In order to do that, you can't have other female characters who are, like, just that.
Yeah,
it has
the point.
Otherwise, you can't you can't hit the nail on the head at the very end of, like, you know, her commander comes down and is like, "You're a woman!" and she goes, "Yeah, I am," and punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Black Widow is, you know, it goes very hard on, like, women are extremely badass and strong and powerful. And there is no hard, like, but you're just a woman. I listen to my smells. I'm an alpha male, which means I am your god.
I mean, we do basically get that, though.
We do it, but we don't, like... the execution, I think, just hits better for me.
I think it's just because it is more on the nose, honestly, is why it hits better for me.
See, I think the reason why...
Or rather, let me put it this way.
Sure, please.
The movie itself and the writing work in tandem. Versus Captain Marvel, the writing feels very pro-women, but the movie itself doesn't seem to do that, because, there's so many male characters that have equal spotlight.
Like, the way I would put it is, in Captain Marvel, I feel like the movie itself believes that women are the lower class, based on the fact that you don't see a lot of other cool women characters doing cool things. Mm-hmm. And so it is this big, she is a standout because she's the only one who can be this. Mm-hmm. Whereas... Also,
you don't see a lot of women going through a lot of struggles either. Just her.
Yeah. We hear a bit from her friend, but again, that is all told to us of, while you were gone, it was a struggle raising my kid.
Yeah.
But it's not you don't feel it. Whereas, Black Widow does such a good job of, the one person who is saying, women suck and I smell really good and I control you all, is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it is a very clear, this isn't, you don't do anything with your power. What the fuck is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. There's no reason why we should believe your shit.
Yeah.
The people who are strong in this organization are all the people you are controlling without your secret smell and your secret pheromones and your magic dust. Mm-hmm. You'd be fucking nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is a good point as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's hard to say, for me specifically, why Captain Marvel didn't land for me.
Fair.
I think I tried to get it a little bit across.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. I think my main point is that I feel like the movie did not do enough service to the script. You know?
Yeah.
The script was not that bad. It's just the movie, itself, everything again. Fury should not have been such a big part of it. I understand why they wanted to with everything going on, but, it's just, Fury being such a big part of it really undercuts Captain Marvel's entire, thing in the movie. Yeah. And there should have just been more, or, give Maria more.
Yeah, I appreciate that, the big man from the MCU in Black Widow is General Ross. And he is there at the beginning DH and then at the very end. Yeah. And that's really it. It is not a movie about him in the slightest. And the movie is mostly about brand new characters. It has so much faith in especially the main four family figure. One of those is a character that three of them are new, and it knows this movie is going to be able to carry your attention based on these four and their interactions with one another. Mm-hmm. Whereas Captain Marvel doesn't have that faith.
Yeah.
We have to keep on cutting away to the SHIELD plot as a big but did you know in the past SHIELD was doing this and it's really badass. The SHIELD stuff we got in here is the most these are just random government mooks.
Yeah.
Or SHIELD did some real fucked up shit.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're shooting at girls in a car because somebody stole their shit, and it's I get that somebody stole your shit, but they also have little girls in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it fits so well with the movie. The movie does not stop to go and here's the plot line that fits with the MCU.
Yeah. Even
though it is even more detached in a sense. Mm-hmm. In the way it is isolated, in the way You know what I'm saying.
I think also there's the aspect of it touching on way more trauma stuff, whereas the Captain Marvel stuff was so alien in nature, literally, that it's hard to relate to it as much.
Yeah, that's one of the big takeaways that I have, as a problem with the movie, and that I know other people have. It was just I want to like, Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
And there are other Carol Danverses and other things that I like. But the MCU Carol, I just don't understand her. I just don't, vibe with her.
Yeah.
In the same way where, this movie is, again, the main four figures in the family are all people who have done awful things. But I vibe with them. I get it. I can feel their humanity. I want to, hear them singing in the car.
I struggle with it because I do really like Captain Marvel, actually. The character. I love Captain Marvel. I don't understand her, but I still like her a lot. And, I have that with a lot of the MCU characters, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know why you do what you do, but I do like you as a character.
It's one of the tough things of just being mostly in movies, where it's you get the flavor of the character. You know what their general deal is, but you don't see all the connective tissue, and so it's well... why are you like this? I know that you do the thing, you say the words, but I don't exactly know why for some characters.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's the movie, the Captain Marvel movie I don't like, but I do think she is very badass in the movie. One of my favorite MCU moments is her getting the powers, flying through the sky, doing the big woohoo, and she's destroying shit and Ronan shit in his pants, and that moment's fucking awesome. I love it. There's a lot of amazing moments in the movie, but for being such a, like, the first woman-led movie, this is what should have been the first woman-led movie.
Yeah, I mean,
if that came second, I think I would have liked it a lot more. But because it's the first, it's just like, it's so... It's also like the MCU not taking... I don't know how to phrase it. It's so tough to talk about this. Like,
I mean, we've also said this in a lot of other reactions, but not in this one. It's insane that Black Widow came out now.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But,
sure.
But like...
Yeah, if there's anything you want to say.
I don't know, just that it was almost too upbeat. Like, it was almost too, like, I feel like it was almost too easy to just say, like, oh, you know, all women are badass and powerful and can do this, you know, you just gotta persevere and stuff like that, versus, like, this is way more of a trauma. Like, they're all being badasses, but it's also traumatic and a shitty situation, and, like, seeing the hell they had to go through, and then she still didn't even earn the respect and everything like that. Like, Captain Marvel is very much like a 90s movie, and I think, like, it's supposed to be, but that's also to its detriment.
Yeah.
But yeah, fully agree. This movie should have came out in Phase 1. At the same time, it's a perfect Phase 4 movie, and I can see why it's coming out in Phase 4. I thought I was going to have a lot of problems with that. I honestly don't. It should have come out sooner, but timeline-wise, and the story they're telling, coming now, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about that?
I'm in your boat. I really thought I was going to, by the end of this, go, like, this should have still been in, like, Phase 3, because Phase 1, I think, too early, because we didn't get her until, like, Phase 2. Like, just at all.
I mean, this definitely could have been in Phase 1, because they'd have been like, what the fuck is the Sokovia Accords?
Well, yeah. But
still.
Yeah, just a Black Widow movie, for sure. But, yeah, I am very happy with how this fits in. Still would have liked it in Phase 3, like, basically where it actually does fit into Phase 3.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The main thing is also, like, I think it's very strange as the first movie of Phase 4 for it to be, like, this takes place in the past, and also, like, you know, this is... like, it just doesn't feel like the start of a phase. But to be fair, the phases, the starts and the ends of the phases don't really feel right to me at all, except for Phase 1.
This is also not the start of Phase 4.
I mean, I said movies.
Oh, okay. But still, I mean, that shouldn't count.
True.
Now we are moving into the age of the TV shows mattering, so...
Fair enough.
And yet, if not for the post-credit scene, you could just put this right where it actually takes place, and it would probably be just as good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, at the same time, it might work better, honestly, after her death. I think there might be more enjoyability in it after that.
Yeah, because it does add this air of, like, you didn't think you were going to see this character, but now you're seeing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean...
And yeah, I would have still loved a Black Widow movie in Phase 1. That wasn't this movie. That was a completely separate movie. Should have got a Black Widow movie in Phase 1. Just saying that outright.
Yeah. I mean, your reaction to, like, the Coulson thing, introducing, hey, by the way, Black Widow is here, and by the way, here's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Was so, like, oh, I guess those two are in Avengers. Whereas if they had like, you know, a combo movie together, or if they, you know, if she had her own movie and Hawkeye was in something else, it would have hit you way harder with, like, oh shit, the big team up, as opposed to, it's that, you know, like, she at the very least seemed like a hero. Hawkeye was just some guy who held a bow and then didn't use it.
Yeah. Like, her would have been the one like, okay, I can see why she's here, but Hawkeye, who the fuck is this guy? Like, Hawkeye really needed a better introduction to the MCU.
Seriously.
I mean, we'll talk about it more when we get into that Hawkeye TV show. But number one thing that's so weird to me is, why not give him the purple costume?
Yeah.
I think the reason why he didn't get the purple costume is because, one... Because all the other ones have a little bit more comic-y kind of costumes in Phase 1, and then we started to phase them out, and we bring them back now with Phase 4. But Hawkeye should have had a purple costume from the beginning, even if it was just S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform, but more purple. Because I think they didn't, because they're trying to make him super fucking cool and badass, and everybody's going to love him. But, like, then they're just like, well... People didn't like him anyway. People thought he was lame because he's the guy who shoots arrows along with the Hulk and Thor and shit. And it's like... You know, then when we get Ultron, and it's like, oh, he's the butt of the joke, and everything like that, and it's like, yeah, I kind of get that, but also, he does more than we see Romanoff do. Like, this movie is also good for showing Romanoff being a powerhouse and Avenger.
Seriously.
Because, like, she's been the one that I've said for the longest time, has been like, I don't understand why everybody says Hawkeye's the weakest Avenger. It's gotta be Romanoff, because we don't ever get to see her do anything.
Yeah.
But like Hawkeye, if he was wearing a fucking purple suit, especially if he was wearing his comic outfit, that would have been way more of a reason for the Avengers to like, you know, bag on him and stuff.
Yeah.
For the audience to bag on him, and knowing what they're going to be doing later on. And then you could give him his fucking serious outfit or whatever the fuck, and then, you know, do whatever the hell you want. But I think he should have been in the original costume from the beginning. Yeah. And that would have made his whole character arc of being the butt of the joke make more sense and be better. It would just be more earned. It sounds weird to say earned being butt of the joke, but...
yeah, it would have been more of a clear arc.
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, I'm also very glad we got the widow bites, like her gauntlets, because I really missed those. I know we have them. I do know we have them, but it is the most like, is she just using a taser or is that the thing?
Yeah.
Whereas like in this movie, it's undeniable. It shoots, you know, like all it needs to do is be a taser, but it shoots a, you know, little red thing to make it more superhero-y.
Yeah. Like they were so fucking obsessed with making everything realistic at the beginning, and I'm so glad they've thrown that, like, you know, if we do an effect, it needs to be a realistic sort of thing out the window. Like,
yeah, because that's the other reason why I feel like people didn't really give her her due. Of like, she just doesn't feel as much like a superhero, and in Avengers, I think they nailed her in that, you know, she is a superhero, but she's also a spy, so she's gonna do more infiltration stuff as opposed to like big knuckle fighting. But then they stopped giving her spy shits. Yeah. So then it's like, well, she's just a lady with a gun now.
Oh my god.
So I'm very happy Black Widow finally gave her her due, and this is like, you point to this Black Widow, and it's like, yeah, that's a superhero. She is a badass. She's so cool.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the action scenes in this were crazy good. Like, holy shit. You know, most of these movies, we have, like, a lot of action, and we'll go from, like, one action scene to a very short kind of, like, emotional scene, back into action, and then we, like, have a long emotional scene, then maybe some more action at the end. But this one was really good about doing that roller coaster of, like, quite a long action scene, quite a long emotional scene, quite a long action scene. Like, not super long for either of them, but also not short for either of them.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, I just liked how much of that we were getting without it feeling like... It didn't feel to me like an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 thing. It was kind of like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, it just kind of, like, kept going.
Yeah, and, like, this is a 2-hour movie. It didn't really feel like that to me.
No, not at all.
It really zipped on by.
Yeah. A lot of location changes, which helped with that as well. Like, location changes always help keep your attention in a movie.
Yeah, and like they didn't even have the luxury of an Avengers movie where it's like the people are all around the world, so we can cut to here, 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 here. Like, we're following the same people for most of that, and it's not a ton of like, you know, we're not doing the big, let's go all the way to Brazil in order to get a USB drive, then go all the way here. Like, it makes sense, it's nice, it's fast, it's quippy.
Was not expecting this to be having like some music period piece moments.
Oh yeah,
but we got that, and that was pretty dope. Sometimes with the MCU, I feel like they just use a song to use a song. You know, there's some characters that have really, you know, good use of songs. You know, Iron Man, Immigrant Song, and all the Guardian stuff. But you know, a lot of times I feel like they also just use music. Yeah. Captain Marvel is a good example. I don't want to bag more on Captain Marvel. Sure. But Captain Marvel is a good example of not many of the songs in that, really any of them that I can think of, felt like super fitting. It was just like, here's a 90s song.
We're doing a period piece. It's a period piece. It's in the past. There's Blockbuster.
Versus this one was definitely like, you know, the two major songs, very, very like relevant to the situations and everything like that, and bringing them back up. Not musically, but like just saying the lyrics, kind of half singing them. Yeah. Also, the end credits, the Russian like song theme that was playing in the credits, that was really good. Love that. Also, Taskmaster. Going back to that, oh my god, what a fucking scary villain.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy shit. I don't know what MCU villain has made me that terrified in a long time. And it's the good thing of, like, having Yelena here, because it's like, we don't know when she's going to die. We know Widow's going to get out of this, but we don't know when Yelena's going to die. Yeah. The whole time. And even more than that, it's just like, you're killing so many people.
Also, Taskmaster is such a good character to, like, you know, to give extra gear and stuff over time. Because this is a Taskmaster where, like, I didn't think that, you know, anyone could fight her one-on-one. Really didn't know if, you know, how Black Widow was going to be able to fight, you know, someone who could do every move for every Avenger. Yeah. And, like, it can scale infinitely as long as she gets more and more gear, or even, you know, just, like, sees the other Avengers that, you know, as they come in. Yeah. Like, her repertoire can just grow infinitely, and there's the fun of like seeing how different moves can chain into different moves. Like you can do a Spider-Man, then go into a Cap, then go into like, oh, by the way, I've got wings now, I can do a Falcon move.
Yeah,
like it's infinite possibility.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But yeah, when it was watching Hawkeye fight, like I don't know why I said it, because we didn't know the gender at that point.
Yeah.
But when Taskmaster was watching, I'm not sure it was Taskmaster. We saw a screen, but anyway, we were seeing Hawkeye fight.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, because you were immediately like, oh, so he knows how Hawkeye was fighting. I don't know why in my mind I was like, oh, it's Hawkeye fighting against Black Widow. We're not seeing Black Widow right now, because then we're gonna get the reveal like, oh, it's a mirror match with Black Widow versus Black Widow. But it makes much more sense for it to be Black Widow and all the Avengers. Which, like, yeah, the fact that they had footage from the Avengers HQ was I never want to say Avengers. Is it the Avengers Mansion? And it's the compound.
It's the compound.
Avengers compound.
It's not a mansion.
Yeah. But it is interesting. We never got the Avengers Mansion in this at all.
No.
Even when we changed it, it was like, well, now it's a compound. Which I understand why would after the Avengers Tower get taken, they're like, well, now we're gonna do a mansion. The compound makes way more sense. But it's interesting. But yeah, Taskmaster was fucking terrifying. The whole one just like driving the fucking I don't know what it's called.
Right.
Like an APC or something like that. I might have the acronym wrong, but like, yeah, just terrifying. I don't know what else to say other than just like seeing it drive down the street and just wreck everything. The fact that it's just blowing cars left and right, and car CGI is my number one. Like, do I like the CGI or not? Because, and I'll say this: if the car reacts realistically, I don't like it. Like, there's something to that where it's like, if you make the car as heavy as it naturally should be, it looks wrong. Because you've seen too much shit in your life that is the practical, we're going to explode this car, and it goes fucking flying from that. Because it's usually not a full car. They like hollow it out and stuff like that. So, in your mind, what you're used to is not the actual realistic, like how it would be.
I mean, a car is literally designed to be as uninteresting as possible when it is damaged, because it's trying to absorb as much damage as possible in order to protect whoever's in it.
Yeah,
which is the exact opposite of it goes flying and flips and
or it crumples like paper when you hit the side of it.
Yeah.
But that's what you want to see, because that's what your brain goes to. This is so out of left field, but it's something I talked a lot about why I loved Agent Carter, the series. Like, Agent Carter is not done as, here's what the 40s were like, or sorry, the 50s were like. It is done as, here's what you think about when you think about what the 50s looked like. And, like, that is so much more interesting than doing a realistic, here's how the 50s were.
Right.
And so, that's kind of how I am with my CG, too. I don't want the CG to be entirely realistic. I want it to be kind of what I imagine it to look like. But then that also means, if it's bad CG, that's not necessarily what I'm picturing in my mind. Like, it's not like, oh, it has to be bad. It's just like, it has to be good CG, but also not exactly how physics work.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, struck that balance. Chunky is kind of what I call that a lot, too. Where it's just like, the destruction is more chunky, which is not realistic at all, but is what I want to see. And so, yeah. Also, with the whole base falling apart was a lot of that, too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it had a really good mix of everything breaks apart very chunkily, and there's huge chunks of stuff everywhere, but there's also a lot of fine debris and, like, really small stuff. But it's so, like, in the background, out of focus, that it doesn't, like, distract.
Yeah.
Or make the scenes too cluttered. White outfit, dope as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Love that shit. Love the justification for why we're wearing it for most of it.
Seriously.
And she doesn't. That would have been like, oh, you're wearing that for the final fight. No, not at all. Cool. The bringing back the face swap thing, which is crazy, because that's been like, what was that in again recently? That was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yeah. So really cool having that be brought back. It's been a while since we've seen that.
Yeah, but it's like one of the most consistent like spy things in the entire MCU.
Yeah. I wonder, on such short notice, how did they get those wigs?
Oh, actually, in her room, like next to all the guns, you do see multiple wigs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it was the only other thing I noticed there apart from all the guns.
Gotcha. So yeah, they got that. Damn. Nice. Yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing that really comes to mind.
Also, how do you feel about the Taskmaster design, by the way? I really liked it, but I'm also the only other Taskmaster I've seen is in the Spider-Man PS4
Right.
game. I've never seen Taskmaster in the comics.
I think it looks fine. Like, a little stripped down, mostly because I'm so used to, like, more of a, like, capey Taskmaster.
Yeah.
But also, I think it works so well as a, like, this is the Taskmaster, owned by one person. It's their lapdog. It's, a very specific thing. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like because Taskmaster isn't dead in this movie, we're probably going to get more of a, like, I'm doing stuff on my own. I'm, training goons for other villains, and I'll have more of a flair so I can, get a cape or something.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing that I don't like a lot of the villain designs that are too restrained, and that also the villain dies immediately, because it's like, well, we're never going to get the better version of this character.
Yeah.
There's gone. But with this one, I actually do like the restraint a lot, because I feel like it's actually going to grow. Mm-hmm. Same with a lot of the hero designs. I'm happy with a more restrained hero design if I know, like, if I have faith that it is going to grow into something that is cooler or more, like, iconic in the future.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that, too, because I definitely think she's going to stick around. Also, that was cool as hell. I mean, like, again, very easy to just make it, the Taskmaster from the comics and whatever. But, like, the twist of, no, this Taskmaster is a woman, it's his daughter, was, like, the big, like, oh!
Because, yeah, I didn't really have any good theories as to who Taskmaster was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because, yeah, like, my villain ideas, apart from the main guy, were like, well, maybe it's going to be Elena, but no, we got Elena. Then, like, maybe it's going to be Red Guardian, but no, we got Red Guardian. Yeah. Maybe it's their mom. After that point, it was a real, like, I don't know, maybe it's going to be, whoever I said at the very start, the Crimson Dynamo was just going to show up and be like, hey, it's me.
I was just expecting it to be I was expecting it to be, like, almost like completely robotic. Like, it is a person, but they're like a cyborg brain or something like that. And I didn't even think about that. Like, oh, yeah, well, they have the brainwashing. It's probably just that. But, like, it was so, like, the fact that you could, like, plug in, like, the stuff to watch was the big, like, that has to be, like, a robot brain or something like that. But no, it's just, like, it's almost like just putting the memories directly up the spinal cord into the brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to look at it a lot. It's so interesting too, because like Taskmaster is usually very yellow, right?
Yeah.
Like,
whereas, yeah, this is more like
more blue.
Yeah.
Blue and orange.
Also, like, yeah, this Taskmaster does have like a bit of a hoodie design that I guess is more like the capey thing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I can definitely see that like evolving into something a bit more crazy. But even this one, to be fair, is not what I would have expected from like phases 2 or 3, just because like it is relatively bright and we got the big skull on the head.
Yeah.
Like, it's still way more comic accurate than I would expect from, like, if this happened in Phase 2, it would just be black SWAT outfits.
Yeah.
And, maybe the shield with the symbol on it. But even that's, like, I imagine they probably wouldn't have done in Phase 2.
Mm-hmm. And it's so weird when they do that for the villains, because there's so much more reason for the villains to have a striking design. Mm-hmm. Because it instills fear.
Yeah. It is like I don't know how this the myth of the Winter Soldier really popped up, because like what's the defining feature of the Winter Soldier? I guess it's the arm, but even then, most of the time, like when you see him, he's all like decked out in super covert stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you know? Why don't you think it's just some guy that shot you?
Yeah. Now, to be fair, that's also not supposed to be something they wanted people to know about.
True. No,
it's just
right,
they accidentally kept finding out about it because Hydra's fucking terrible at doing their job.
Hydra's very bad.
Hydra is as shitty at the job as S.H.I.E.L.D. is, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Taskmaster is a character that I think works very well for the kind of armor that the MCU loves to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy with this. Not a lot. I don't always have problems with this stuff. I mainly have problems with it when it's like why is Captain America wearing armor? It's gonna weigh him down, and he's supposed to be a very nimble kind of person.
Yeah.
It's stupid that he's wearing armor. Mm-hmm. But stuff like this, love it. Like, of course, new Captain America,
of course,
Sam Wilson, he should be wearing body armor because one, he's not a super soldier. Also, he doesn't need to be that nimble because he's got like jets on him that help him be more nimble like that, and he's already wearing super heavy wings. Yeah, so it's like, the armor's probably not going to add that much more to it.
Mm-hmm. It's totally different. Whereas, like...
And if he falls while flying, he's going to need that armor.
Whereas, like, one of the big MCU moments I think about when it comes to costuming is the end game of Captain America, the Winter Soldier. where in order to make him look iconic again, he has to break into the Smithsonian and get his old costume back.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this, the costume he's been wearing throughout the movie isn't going to look good in the final fight, so he has to get the old one. And, like, it makes sense in universe as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it is this big, like, it looks better when it's brighter and it's more comic booky.
And even then they have to do that sneaky little, like, oh, it's a funny reference because it's stupid. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, it's not. It's cool.
It's really cool. Everyone likes it.
I know. No one looked at Avengers 2012 and went, like, Cap looks stupid in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you... It's like one of those iconic shots, and they're like, it changes. It makes this much better. These characters were less recognizable.
Do you think Yelena's gonna get her vest back again? Her favorite vest. Because she gave it to her sister. Her sister died. I don't think she died with the vest on, so...
And to be fair, that's one that's like, a lot of the stuff the MCU characters wear, I don't remember, because it looks so generic. Mm-hmm. If she was wearing this vest, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So... I don't know.
Yeah, like, the hair thing is way more striking as this is this period in this character's life.
We just rewatched, basically, most of the shit that Black Widow was in before we watched this movie, and I didn't notice the vest. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that she wasn't wearing it. I just wasn't looking for...
I also don't remember the vest.
Is she wearing a vest? Is that gonna be important?
Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, the hair, I genuinely really appreciate that for Endgame, her hair is half and half. Yeah. Even though it's been 5 years, it definitely, came out at some points.
Yeah.
But it is a clear visual indicator of, she had her natural hair for most of the MCU. After, Civil War, she, dyed it. Or after Civil War, she dyed it, rather.
Yeah.
And now, 5 years later, she's presumably just, dyeing half of it. But it gives you that feeling of, she's gone through the shits.
Mm-hmm. And, I like setting up that she, bought it from the beginning and stuff like that. But, thinking that that's what she's gonna look like for the whole movie, but no.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, if she was wearing the fucking, white outfit with blonde hair, it just wouldn't look as good.
Yeah.
Yelena's got, the braids and, the much darker roots and everything like that. I mean, just in general, her blonde hair is much darker than everyone else's. But yeah, the prison escape scene, excellent as well. Mm-hmm. Don't want to just go on this scene was great, this scene was great. The whole movie is fan-fucking-tastic.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what else we could say about it. That, again, I had one nitpick of it. There was the Ross thing at the end. Everything else, absolutely fucking perfect to me.
Mm-hmm.
Super happy this is what we got. Again, just meta stuff. Absolute fucking shame that it got delayed and pushed to Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it getting delayed is whatever. You know, I'm always happy for a movie to get delayed if it needs more work. Or, I mean, this got delayed because of COVID. Yeah. But also, maybe they put in a little bit more work into it. Maybe that's why the fucking CGI looks so much better than most MCU movies from Phase 3. It's because it's crazy. This looks like CGI from Phase 1, which is insane to say that the CGI in Phase 1 is, but it's the truth. Rewatching the Phase 1 movies, they hold up. They look insanely good. Rewatching the Phase 3 movies, they still don't look that good.
Yeah, all the really impressive CGI in Phase 3 is the stuff that, you're not supposed to notice.
Yeah.
Where it's just we shot this whole room on green screen, or, Peter's naked and we have CGI clothes on him.
Yeah. More what I mean is, the Peter's naked. But more of what I mean is the big giant endgame fight. It looks great, but there's also a lot of filters over it, and it's you're not it's just not as clear as what's going on.
Right.
Or something like the final fight in Ragnarok, which just looked super wonky and oof, that's the thing I always think back to the worst CGI we got in Phase 3. And there was some good CGI in Ragnarok, the final fight on the bridge was rough. Which sucks. That's such a cool moment with the Immigrant Song too and everything like that. But that's also tough because that's to be fair, this is a lot of human characters with CGI explosions and stuff going on, destroying, versus the big in-game fight, throw Ragnarok on the bridge. That's 1,000 CGI characters fighting a few humans, and then another 1,000 CGI characters.
Yeah, it's 90% animation.
Yeah.
Whereas most of this movie is not animation, except for, the big action scenes.
So yeah, that helps a lot. But yeah, still need to mention it. But yeah, sorry, it's a shame that this got put on Disney Plus when it should have been in theaters.
Oh yeah.
And I'm torn because I don't want people to go to theaters. Even now, if you're going to theaters, why the fuck are you going to theaters? If you're going to theaters, you better be wearing a mask and be very, very fucking safe, okay? Pandemic's still happening. It's getting worse. It's getting worse again. It's, always wear a mask. We don't say that enough. I should put that at the beginning of my, shit. COVID's still happening, motherfuckers. At the beginning of the video every time. But seriously, so like I don't want people to go to the theaters, but it really sucks that this didn't get to go to theaters.
Right.
And was put out on Disney Plus, and like, Scarlett Johansson, super fucking rich, insanely rich. Doesn't need more money, but it is her like suing Disney over all that. There was a lot of backlash about that of, oh, you're a rich person and blah blah blah. But it's like, that's not the point. The point is the moral matter.
Yeah, like Disney spends so much of Phase 4 is being directed by new original indie directors, and part of that is because they have less leverage.
Yeah.
And so, like, if someone like Scarlett Johansson doesn't do the big sue, the person who's doing like the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2 movie, like they're not going to be able to do it because she's still paying off her student loans.
Yeah, like so it is on the the bigger actresses that to do that, to hold them to that.
Yeah, otherwise it's not going to happen. I mean, this movie only happened because she was still like, yeah, we're still going to do a Black Widow movie. Give me a movie.
Yeah. But like, and I get that there was backlash because she's super rich and it's COVID, so of course the movie shouldn't have gone to theaters. But you gotta look at the situation more than just the surface level of it.
Yeah, like, why didn't all the other movies also get held back?
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah, that's the big one. Like, oh.
Like, you can't release a movie to theaters and at the same time pull one and say, like, no, it's Disney Plus only, and then say, like, yeah, these are equal. It's like, well, clearly they're not.
Yeah.
You thought one of these, you wanted one of these to go to theaters, you didn't want the other one to.
And yeah, I mean, it sucks that and WandaVision as well. Like, WandaVision, very powerful woman-led story and everything like that. Also on Disney Plus. Obviously, not going to be a theater thing.
Yeah.
At the same time, Inhumans was shown in a theater.
The bigger thing is that they lost an episode.
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Lost an episode. We brought this up in discussion.
I didn't know that. I don't remember us bringing it up, but they lost an episode. What does that even mean?
Like, they were going to have one episode more.
And they cut it back an episode.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like there was an episode hanging around the office and like, where the fuck did that episode go? That's what I thought you meant. I was like, what do you mean? But no, okay, no. Yeah, I do know that. Yeah, it's supposed to be longer and like that. Yes, yeah. The creative team lost an episode. Not just like Disney. Like,
Mr. Plus lost an episode.
Yeah, where'd it go? But yeah, it's been shitty situations for the women in the MCU.
Yeah.
It's been bad. And it's been worse too because when they do shit like Captain Marvel, they fuck it up and then people go like, this shit sucks, I hate it. And it's like, I hate that I don't like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I hate it. I want to be one of the people that likes Captain Marvel, but I can't. And it's the MCU's problem for fucking up this shit.
Yeah. Like, if you have more things all together, you can afford to have more misses, because then it's like, yeah, fair enough. Like, when you have the one movie led by, X or Y type of person, then it's like, yeah, there's a lot of weight on that. Whereas if you got 7, and one of them really sucks, then it's like, yeah, that one really sucked, but the rest are at least average or good.
Excellent movie. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Think we're done.
We're done.
If we have extra stuff, we'll come back at the end and say some more
Not every discussion needs to be as long as the movie.
Just, again, with the end, super cool that they brought in Val and tied Falcon and Winter Soldier into this, and also bringing up Hawkeye. This is everything we were talking about during Loki and other stuff, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, of like what we need to see to know this stuff's gonna be actually carried out in movies. And now, to be fair, it's a post-credit scene. It's still not the same, but I feel like we're gonna get there pretty soon.
Yeah.
Like, this is a prequel, so you can't do much.
It'd be really weird.
Yeah. So I'm not like, that's not a nitpick on the movie. It's just like I understand, there's still a level of difference with it being a post-credit scene. They're still testing the waters a little bit.
Yeah. So I think we're in agreement that, like, if this stuff's going to be picked up, it's probably going to be picked up in Hawkeye, right?
Yeah, because I was just about to give you where do you think these characters are going to end up next? Your classic.
Yeah. Like, it's tough because I want to say something else, but everything else I can think of on the docket is all, like, we're doing, like, brand new hero stuff, or it's like, way more out there stuff. And or like multiversal stuff, where it's like I feel like this is way more of the bedrock of the like governmental MCU stuff.
This is that's a good point. Like Phase 4 right now is a very, very street level / governmental kind of stuff, and multiversal, crazy, insane shit, time shenanigans going on.
Yeah,
it's weird to juxtapose these two, but they're working pretty great together. But yeah, so where do you think these characters can end up?
I think Yelena definitely shows back up in Hawkeye. The same with Valentina, I think. Maybe not, like, directly. Maybe just as a, like, hey, by the way, why are you fighting me? Why do you think I killed your sister? Or, like, I'm going to give you the whole truth, and then later on it'll be like, by the way, who told you to go kill me?
Yeah.
As for everything else, I mean, like, the widows and whatnot, I don't think we're going to follow up on them directly. I feel like maybe in Phase 5 or something, we'll get something that's more of a, like, big spy thing, or a, like, AIM was secretly still around, or this other organization's still around, or, like, they're going to fight the Power Broker. But I don't think it's going to be in anything in Phase 4. I think we're going to put that on the back burner. They'll be in the shadows. Maybe they'll be fighting in the shadows. And then we'll have a big thing that'll be the big, like, okay, now I get where these characters are going to show up once more.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I mostly agree.
Okay.
I think Yelena's going to show up in Hawkeye. I think Valentina's going to show up in Hawkeye. Do I think that... Because I'm not sure when I said John Walker was going to appear next, but now I'm thinking he might actually appear in Hawkeye as well.
Yeah.
But probably not. Maybe just Yelena, because she's the one going after him. Potential, but I'm going to say no for that.
Actually,
okay.
I have one more.
Yes.
I think that we don't know what Captain America and the Winter Soldier is going to be. Like, whether that's a TV show or a movie, I'm not sure.
What?
Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Like, at the end of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we got the big title of Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, whether that is going to be a TV show, or whether it's a movie, or, like...
Or whether that was, what I assumed it was, that TV show.
Could also be true.
Like, this TV show was The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, at the end, it could be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Fair enough.
Which, again, it's still interesting that he's still the Winter Soldier, but...
That actually didn't occur to me. I mean, I think we said it, but it still didn't occur to me. My soul did not accept it.
I assumed it was just like we're showing the title again, but now it's Captain America. I don't think there's anything more to that specifically.
Okay.
But I mean, as we both said, I would love a Captain America and the Winter Soldier TV show. I think that's what you're, maybe remembering. Like, we talked a lot about what we would want out of that. And...
Anyways, regardless, wherever they show up again, those two, I think Crimson Dynamo is going to show up there.
So you think there is a Crimson Dynamo?
No, not Crimson Dynamo. I fucked it up. I did your thing. Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, he's probably with the Widows, but I think it would be too samey for it to be, like, 20 ladies, and then Red Guardian in the middle going, like, oh, I remember when I was fighting Captain America in the 80s.
See, I think that would be hilarious.
I think it'd fit way more if he's like, oh shit, there's a new Captain America. I'm gonna beat his ass.
See, I think if he gets reintroduced, it's gonna be he comes out to do a big fucking fight, he immediately gets his ass kicked, and the Widows have to come in and save him again.
I do actually really like that.
I think that's what it's gonna be. I also, next time we see him, he could just be super fit. Like, clean shaven, super duper fit.
Ultra ripped.
Ultra ripped, more tattoos.
He might just show up to the Smithsonian to try and find the 80s cap. Like, I know it happened. I swear to God, it happened. Where's my wing? I keep on saying Crimson Dynamo. I'm the Red Guardian. But yeah, that's my last guess. You can.
Okay, I will do mine, and then I got something else to say at the end. It's just gonna keep going and going and going.
Of course.
I think Yelena's gonna show up in Hawkeye. Valentina's gonna show up in Hawkeye. I think the Widows and Red Guardian and Melina are going to show up in the next Avengers movie, which is a long way away. I think we're going to put them on the long burner, and they're going to come back as a big thing.
All right, fair enough.
The next Avengers thing, not in Phase 4, though, right?
No.
No Avengers slated for Phase 4. It's so interesting, because those feel like the keystones of each phase, versus, like, what's going to be the keystone for Phase 4?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think, like, obviously huge movies, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, but, like, are those the keystones now? Like, is that taking over the Avengers? Like, there's been Spider-Man movies before, and they do incredibly well.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. What's the keystone now?
Yeah, like, I feel like the multiversal stuff that, is probably going to be, No Way Home and then Multiverse of Madness are kind of the keystones right now. But
I feel
even
like the keystone has to be all the characters from this phase are together. Or, the majority of them.
Fair.
Like, all the people who are going to be Avengers, you see them in the Avengers at the end of the phase, because that's what, like, it's so weird that we're not getting into Avengers at the end of Phase 4.
Yeah.
That we know of so far. They could push something up or do a big surprise, but...
They could.
But I doubt it.
We still don't have an announcement for Fantastic Four, even, so,
yeah, I know.
It's still pretty squishy right now.
But, like, do you think there's going to be a movie pre-Avengers that's going to have the Avengers, like, that we're going to learn, what the fuck are the Avengers?
I think we will, because I already did my statement of I don't think we're going to have really the big Avengers. So I think we will have the Avengers, but not in an Avengers movie. I think it's just going to be like this is the faction. And I think if we do get like...
Maybe Marvels?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't even know if... I don't know what's fucking slated for Phase 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But yeah, I don't think Phase 4 is going to have everyone is in this movie. I think they're going to do a lot of new character, like, spreading out. And a lot of, like, the MCU ain't dead. And then for Phase 5, I think they'll go back to, okay, we've got some more blood in, we've recovered from killing off, like, half our main characters. Now let's do some more everyone's together again movies.
Yeah. Man, I hope, because I would want the next Avengers movie not to be a huge, big new threat that we got to deal with. I would want it to be something that's easily handleable, and we spend the majority of the movie getting these characters comfortable with being Avengers, and what is an Avenger now, and what's going on, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the fuck the Avengers would appear in next otherwise. So, yeah. Oh, last thing. Is Crimson Dynamo... will it ever be a character in the MCU? Oh, I'm going no. I'm saying no. No way. They said it because they knew they were going to do Red Guardian instead of Crimson Dynamo.
In that case, I gotta say yes. I think the well of things we can say Howard Stark did is getting really, really low. I think we got like one or two more before it's like, there's no way. There's no way this man did all the shit we haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
I think we got one more. I think one more is going to be Crimson Dynamo.
Okay.
I could see that coming up in... whenever Red Guardian comes back up, maybe we get Crimson Dynamo?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I could also see it in on a TV show as this thing is so fucking out of date now. Like, this would have been cutting edge in the 90s, but now it's, it's something we're just, a 2-bit villain is using right now. They got it out of storage.
Maybe. Something like that. I don't think so. I think it's classic MCU. We're saying this, so we don't have to do it.
I want to be in the era we do all the things.
No, we're still in the era. Real quick, actually, we didn't do this. Oh man, why am I hiccuping so much?
No.
Do you know Red Guardian from the comics?
Very vaguely. I've seen him in team-ups with other 5 other dudes. Okay.
Because yeah, I was just that was such an interesting pool. Obviously they're doing the counter to Captain America. Politically, but yeah, just interesting.
Yeah,
and it is the one that he wasn't really around for. In the comics, he was around for the Red Scare, but in the MCU, no. He was he was around for World War II and then came back in modern day. So it's just this doesn't really feel like his political rival in any way. That's not really the Nazis. But yeah. So that's just very fascinating. Again, he considers himself to be Captain America contemporary when they have never
absolutely not
interacted. Probably,
it's the most obvious. If it is a lie, it's something that literally anyone would be able to fact check because they're I remember I saw on the news when he came back.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't go so much.
I think that's a sign that this discussion is over.
It's fine. It's over. All right. Was there any other character that you know from the comics that you wanted to say a little bit about?
No.
Okay. That's it. We'll see you guys for probably Shang-Chi next. We still don't know if we're going to do Shang-Chi next or I got to remember how to pronounce that thing.
Yeah.
But We're maybe doing that next because it came out in the middle of What If. So we're trying to decide: do we want to do 4 What If episodes, Shang-Chi, the next 4? Do we want to do it before? Do we want to do it after? Leaning towards before, but not a promise.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see you guys for whatever's next. Until then, get the fuck out of here. Oh, if you listen to this, leave a comment.
Oh yeah,
talk about this shit.
Please.
I imagine a lot of this shit hasn't come up yet, so give us your theories. Talk about stuff. Don't spoil us on something, but talk about blah blah blah. Leave some comments, please. And yeah, if you're listening to an hour and a half long discussion, say something. Come on, say something.
Yeah.
But yeah, see you guys next one.